Compositing Group, a SwiftUI modifier allowing you to add compositing visual effects like blend mode, opacity, and shadow to a view's ancestor. In simpler terms, it allows you to add visual effects like blend mode, opacity, and shadow to a view's parent instead of the individual chart views in a container. In this video, you will understand how it works and how to apply it to your views. Let's start with the Apple's documentation. Over here it says a compositing group makes compositing effects in a view's ancestor views, such as opacity, blend mode, and take effect before the view is rendered. When I scroll down, you can see here they have given an example code and a preview of how it works. But looking at the example they have illustrated here, it is still difficult to understand how this concept works really. On Stack Overflow, I saw this question asking about the purpose of compositing group in SwiftUI. So let's go to Xcode and look at how it works and how we can apply it to our views. By going to the documentation again, let's look at this keyword, ancestor views. So before we can apply this effect to our views, we need an ancestor view and a chart view. So in this example, I have created an edge stack containing all these circles. We have our first circle, a Z-stack containing 2 circles, and then another circle. So the question we need to ask here is, how do we apply a shadow effect to affect only the parent and not the individual chart layers or the individual chart views? To do that, we need to use the Compositing Group modifier in SwiftUI, as I showed earlier. Let's grab the parent container and add some modifiers like blend mode. We can say we want a blend mode of difference. So by applying a blend mode of difference, it removes the part that intersects with 2 circles. These are all the black portions. Let's use opacity. We can, for example, say we want an opacity of 0.5. So by applying blend mode and opacity, you can see it affects the individual circles instead of the parent container. Let's comment that and add a shadow. Let's modify the shadow a bit. We will add a color of red and leave the radius as it is. So you can see our shadow also applies to the individual circles. So this is where the compositing group modifier comes in. We can use it to apply the shadow effect to the parent container instead of the individual circles. To do that, it should be applied above the compositing effects. So it should be the first modifier. You can now see our red shadow applies to the parent view instead of the individual circles. We compose the circles as a cloud icon just for demonstration purpose. If you need a cloud symbol, you should head to the SF Symbols app and search for cloud. So you now know how Compositing Group works in SwiftUI. You can now go ahead and start applying it to your views. Thanks for watching this video.